Humans are human. That's a quote from, maybe not quite a quote, but that's an idea that I first found in Good Omens, which is not a Christian book, but it has a lot of Christian ideas, and it's not written by Christian men, but it has a lot of Christian ideas. And that's one of them. Humans are human. They are not good, and they are not evil. That is one of the few facts. You can convince me of anything, except that idea is wrong. You will never be able to convince me that someone is good, a person is good, and you will never be able to convince me that a person is evil. In my mind, those are two impossibilities, and that is the one argument you will fail to convince me on any time. Some people would be surprised to hear me say that, for I have said that before that there is no evidence you could ever provide that will stop me being a Christian. What they do not understand that means is if you could provide absolute proof that God is not real, and I would remain a Christian. They don't understand the implication there, that you can convince me that God is not real, and I would remain a Christian. And that makes me a fool. I'm not unintelligent, I'm not lacking in smarts, just a fool. But at the same time, I have indefinite, but at the same time, I don't think you would ever be able to convince me. I think be able to convince me that God is not real would be very, very hard. I believe it could technically be done, but I also don't think anyone would ever be able to achieve it at the same time. Does that make sense? It is the one, you could provide me that proof. It's basically saying that even if you could provide me that proof, I would still remain a Christian. And it's because there is nothing you could ever do to ever prove to me that humans are good or that humans are evil. And it's because no other religion has mercy in it. No other religion has grace in it. The idea that one is not perfect and yet still gets to go to heaven. You must be perfect to go to heaven. That is the case for all others. Not only is Christianity morally good, you can go even if you aren't. And maybe if you ever find, and maybe I'm wrong on that, maybe there are other religions. And if you know of a religion, please tell me, and tell me your basis for that reasoning in the comments. But as far as I know, there is no other religion, and it's the reason I dedicated my life to Christ. I've said this before, but I believe I need to say it again. I've called myself a Christian my entire life. But the first time I called myself a Christian because I wanted to be a Christian and completely irrelevant to the decisions of my parents and my family, I prayed the prayer. One of the first things I said was, "God, I don't care if you're real or not." In fact, I do. Actually, no, it wasn't even I don't care. I don't know if you're real or not. I basically said I didn't believe him, but I wanted to follow him anyway. Because I believe the world would be a better place if you were real. I believe the only way, and I stand by that statement, I believe the only way there is good in this world is if God exists. I do not believe this world is worth living in if God did not exist. It's why you probably could convince me that God isn't real. But it's probably also the last thing I'll ever do. I don't know how much longer I'll last as a person after that moment. I will always be a Christian. But how can you be a Christian if the one thing you have faith in isn't real and is proven indefinitely not real? I don't know what happens then. But I don't know if I'd want to live in a world where that is the truth. I don't think I because a world like that isn't good. The world is a complicated place. People are complicated beings, and there are those who say you can be good without Jesus Christ, and that is a lie. It's a lie they tell themselves to make themselves feel better about them. There is no one who can be good without the Holy Spirit. Without I've once heard it said that some people might need religion to do good things, and that's good for them. And if that is the case, then that is absolutely 100% true for me, because I do not understand how you could ever do good without God. Maybe I'm just odd. Maybe I'm just odd. But then again, But then I think it's because society deems sexual acts of immorality okay, and therefore, some sexual acts of immorality, some aren't, but some are deemed okay, meaning it's easy for them to be good. Because what society defines as good is not what God defines as good. And I've never had that problem. What I have had a problem with is wanting to kill people. I even wanted to kill myself at different times. But I can't. I am a Christian, therefore I can't. Once someone asked me what does that mean? Yeah, anyone can. It's whether you want to or not. And it's like, no, for me, I can't. I have given that power away from myself and given it on to God. God, I no longer can control myself, that even if I wanted to, I could not do those things. Which is a good thing indeed, for murder is wrong, and we can all agree on that. And before you say there's some situations where it's okay, I disagree with you. Murder is never okay. And it comes back to a thing I talked about. I meant to talk about. There's a thing going around on YouTube Shorts, and maybe on TikTok, I don't know, I'm not on TikTok, so I wouldn't know, but YouTube Shorts where it's like, it has the villain asking the hero, the city or your lover? And the hero replies, the city, and it's all this tragic thing, and people go, and for most people that's a calculated decision. It's a decision based on calculation. The city has more people. There's more people. Like, that is your duty. That is your role. You will save the city over your lover. For me, that is an emotional decision. And if the hero chooses the lover, they are emotional, and therefore, some would say not worthy of being a hero. Some would say more worthy. It's confusing, but it's like, but everyone would say that is a decision based on emotion, and saving the city is a decision based on logic. For me, save the city is a decision based on emotion. Because it would be an instinctual choice to save the most people, because I could not let a single person die on my watch. And not only would I make that decision in that instant, I would do everything in my power to stop the other person, my lover, whatever, from dying. And you might say, oh, that's what the most heroic things do in books and stuff and things, and this isn't the real world. You wouldn't be able to do both. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, because emotionally I want to save everyone. And everyone means the city, and the lover means the city, and the city also means my family, my friends, and everyone else other than the lover. And I would emotionally choose everyone above the lover. Emotion-wise, I would not value the lover's life above anyone else's lives. And I would know, and logically, because I am both a brain filled with logic and emotion, I would know logically that my lover is not all that I love, and that in some ways there is more that I love in the city than in the lover because the lover is one person. Does that make me broken? Perhaps. But I think we need to ask, big question we need to ask is what makes a person so broken they can kill a city? And the truth is because people are broken. People can see, the moment the word the city comes across, people see a statistic. It becomes a statistic. And people aren't very good with statistics. I'm not very good with statistics, and I could acknowledge that, but a lot of people can't acknowledge that. I'm not very good with statistics because I don't see statistics. I see the people behind the statistics, instinctually, empathetically, godly. It's definitely a gift from God to be able to do that, to be able to see the city and instantly see all that you love in the city, not just the places you love, because I imagine when you destroy the city, you destroy the buildings, the environment, everything. Not just the people, but the people also. And I think that's something we need to think about. The people are people. The trolley problem. People ask, oh, why do you get to decide who deserves to live or die? I think the thing is everyone deserves to live. Therefore, you want to take the option that saves the most people. Because that is more people that deserve to live. But people can't see that. People can't fathom that. People can't understand that, and I don't understand why. Because people say they're good with statistics. Yet when statistics involve emotions, they fail, and yet my statistics always involve emotions. And yet, some would say I'm more logical and cynical than anyone else. I am broken. I am not perfect. I am human. I will do better. I will be better. But I will never be perfect. I will never be. Maybe I might one day be whole. But I'll never be perfect until kingdom come. This channel isn't to convert you to Christianity. This channel is to discuss faith and life and how it's impacted my life and how it's saved me in multiple ways and how I've used it to save myself. And how maybe if you want to, you can use it those same ways. But also maybe just for encouragement to know that there are others going through this world who felt the same as you. And sometimes just not being so lonely is enough. Because being lonely can be very lonely indeed. Because I often feel lonely, and I know God's by my side 100% of the time, so yeah. Meaning, I'm not really alone. You'd probably feel 1,000 more times alone. I don't want you to feel that way, because I want you to know that someone out there cares. Bye.